So it brings me on to today's sponsor of ITS. So ITS have got their end of tax year event on at the moment. There's new deals every Friday, and a cool little thing as well. If you make an order over £100 excluding VAT and you use code Bundy Truck, you get this monster truck with £50 for free. ITS pride themselves on any price promise match between Screwfix and Tool Station. The tools they have are for DIY enthusiasts and professional people like myself. And if you order before 7 PM the night before, you get next day delivery. So use the code Bundy Truck, grab yourself one of these. I'll put the links below and go and check it out. Yo, welcome back. Another video with the welder and sticking loads of amps through cables and stuff. Thanks for all the subscribers recently. It's been absolutely amazing. Please continue to click like and subscribe on all the videos. It's really getting somewhere. It's getting way above than I ever thought it could do. So today's video, what I'm going to be doing is when we carry EICR for landlords and everything, and there is a big debate whether or not you pull the main fuse or you don't pull the main fuse to inspect of what fuse is in there. Most of the time I do limb. I mean, this is a subject for a complete another day. Limitations, because as electricians we're not meant to pull main fuses, so we can't inspect it properly. I remember looking at JBEX, one of his videos quite a while ago, and he pulled it and he found a nail in there. So I've come across this twice before, so it's very interesting to see what causes people to do this. Equally, your main fuse, so this is your main fuse that's on your incomer in your house, so on your main cutout. So what I've done here is attach a nail straight through it. So for some reason, some people decide to stick nails or screws within the main fuse to stop it from tripping. A nail or a screw has a lot higher breaking point rather than a main fuse. Main fuses in domestic properties are rated from 100 amp to 80 amp to 63 amp to 60 amp sometimes, depending on what's there. This is our main protective device that we have in the household. After our MCBs, our rewirable fuses, our RCDs, the last thing we've got is the main fuse. And back in the day, it wasn't so much of a problem with the amount of current houses were drawing because there wasn't a lot of electrical appliances. Now there is. We've got smart homes, we've got EV chargers, which is the main problem, I would say, with all these cutouts being changed at the moment, is because if you have a 32 amp car charger, it will draw 32 amp, not like an electric shower, which is 32 amp most of the time. It will pull 20, 22 at best. Because car chargers are on overnight, they're pulling 32 amps, then you put on top of it a shower, a cooker, a smart home, a couple of ring mains, a couple of heaters. All that combined will easily pull up to 100 amp. You can put diversity to it, you can make the measurement, which we have done in our calculations, and Dave Savey makes cracking videos on this. But it will come to a point where someone's main fuse will blow, and I've been to it twice where a main fuse is blown. Call the DNO, they check it, they change it over for free. That's their issue, not ours. But people are sticking nails and screws in main fuses. So today's video, I've stuck a nail in a main fuse. Not the biggest nail, I might add. I couldn't actually find any bigger than that in my unit, but we're going to stick one in. We're going to put more than 100 amps in it. So obviously 100 amp would normally blow this fuse here. This is rated at 100 amp. We're going to see what happens. I've been to several before where your actual main cutout on your incomer has actually started to melt. So we're going to set a rig up, which I'll show you over in a second. I'm going to stick a high current through it and see what happens. Right, so this is the rig we've got. We've got 25mm tail, 25mm tail. This is your normal cutout, which you wouldn't normally see inside of. That casing goes onto here, from there, and then that's the side of your fuse. That's the main fuse with a nail in it. That'll clip on the side. That will then push in. I'll then stick, we might as well go full whack. I'll stick 160 amps straight through it to see what would happen, to see if the nail will blow. If not, I suspect at some point, it might take a while, but this should start to melt, or the cable will start melting itself. Right, let's see if there's actually wedges into it. It's opened up a bit where I've put the nail, but that's in and on. That's already supplied up. I'm going to stick my respirator on. We've got the thermal imaging camera to see how hot things are getting, and we'll put the fan on, and yeah, let's see how this works. So the rig's been on for about 5 minutes so far, and I know this is going to be a slow burner because this type of stuff will take a while to heat up, but you can see already it's at 40 degrees on the thermal imaging camera. Let me try and get rid of my reflection. It's 40 degrees. It's going up slowly and slowly and slowly. I just had a quick check with my 3-phase supply over there, and each head, I mean, I'm not pulling a lot anyway, but each head is 9 degrees. Obviously that's 40. So over time this will heat up and heat up and heat up. Whether or not it's going to have to be left here for a couple of hours, which I won't be doing. But we'll leave it another 10-15 minutes, see how we get on. If we don't see any visible change, what I will do is pull the nail out. We'll stick the nail in between the two crimps, fire 160 amps through that, and see if it does actually blow at 160 amps. We run it for another 10 minutes. The head really isn't getting any hotter than, it peaked out at 50 degrees, and then around that. I'm not going to put it on for much longer because the leads go into the heater nearly 70 degrees. The heater? The leads go into the welder at nearly 70 degrees. So I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to put the nail on the side and we'll have a go with the nail to see how many amps that bursts at. So unfortunately, because for all I know this could take 3-4 hours to get up to temperature, which is what I don't have on this video. So sorry about that for the disappointment, but this should now show how much this nail glows and heats up to with this and that, to see how hot this will get if it bursts. When I say burst, if it blows, as in it overheats and loses connection, disconnects, how hot that would physically get inside this. Because at the moment I'm testing this with the main fuse still installed, which is also increasing the cross-sectional area of the nail. So maybe at one point try it again, but take out the main fuse solely, and we'll just tack the nail across the two coppers to join it through. But we'll give this a go now. So we at least want to go 100 amp. Well, as you can see here, it's already glowing. The nail itself is showing over 195 degrees. Still going. My thermal imaging camera actually tops out 195 degrees, so that is all we're going to get from that. Still going, still going. So you think this is probably now what, 300-400 degrees? And all that's to do is going to heat up and heat up, heat up until it either splits itself through heat and it melts. Obviously this temperature now would be contained within that, which will then start melting it. I'm not gonna lie, that was bright. That was very bright. I'm still trying to see anything. So that obviously went on 160 amp, less than a minute. Less than a minute, it went way over 200 degrees. I can't get an accurate reading because that's all the thermal imaging camera went up to. So you can imagine that solely in the main cutout, that would melt. Anything after that would have started melting, set on fire. So this is our last point of call for a protective device into the property. So you can see how dangerous it can be, and you get a lot of this when people turn houses and grow drugs, where they do this sort of thing to the property, draw an extortion amount of current through, and that's where you get these house fires from. So yeah, anyway, that one was slightly interesting. Sorry I couldn't test it properly. You probably couldn't hear that because I slid on the floor. Sorry I couldn't test it thoroughly like I was expecting to, but you can see the pure dangers that people encounter when they do stuff like this. Yeah, so I hope the video's been a bit helpful-ish. Let me know below if there's any more stuff that you want me to cover and try and experiment with. I'm going to try and redo all the stuff I've done before, but better. I'm learning, I'm still new to all this, so bear with me. I'm trying. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, like, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you on the next one.